did you get started in chess photography?
A long time ago. Quite by accident. I was taking photographs. I'd done bought some cameras and was taking photographs for my own purpose. And I was in a pub, and somebody said they wanted to buy a photo. I was taken aback. So I didn't know what to charge, so I said 1 pint of Guinness. And that was how it started.
When was that?
86, I think, something like that, 85, 86.
Was that at some chess event or just in the pub?
No, it was, as I said, I was approached in a pub for a photograph.
So when did you merge it with chess?
But no, that was somebody interested in chess. I'd taken photographs at chess, and that is how it started. I was taking photographs in chess, which is what I was interested in. And then, of course, I started taking photos for magazines, chess magazines, newspapers, books, and that's how it started.
How did you meet Jimmy?
I think I was at the Barbican for the Polgar sisters, and Jimmy came up to me and said he'd seen a photo or something, and that's how I got to know him. But it was really when he took over from Paul Lamford. I mean, I did photographs for Paul Lamford, Chess magazine, and then when Paul Lamford left after the Maxwell death, then Jimmy took over, and that's how I got it.
So did you start going to as much chess as possible to take the photos? Sort of
Not really. I went to a few events, and but it built up.
How did people react? Has it changed over the years that now they're used to you and they know you, but at first perhaps they...
Well, I'm not taking photos at the moment, so once people got used to you, then I went from one event to another, and you saw some of the same people, and people got used to it.
But some people didn't like it, like Kasparov at times.
Oh, no, look, Kasparov was not predictable. I mean, sometimes he liked it, sometimes he didn't. You never knew what was going to happen with Kasparov. There were some times when he was quite welcoming, but he was unpredictable.
But getting an angry expression could actually be a good thing.
Well, that particular event, I managed to get a photograph when I upset him, and so that did work. But most chess players don't get upset that easily. So, I was in the flattery business. I mean, so most chess players wanted to be photographed.
And by doing that, you also got to talk to some of the top players, didn't you?
Sometimes. I probably never really got to know any of them very well. But yes, I did meet them, yes.
Which ones were friendly?
Well, most of them were friendly. Some were more shy than others. And also there's an age difference. I mean, I was probably much older than many of the players. I mean, players in their 20s haven't got much in common with somebody in their 40s, which is what I was.
You met Bronstein?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I met him at the Sadler's Wells candidates match. Yes.
What about Karpov? Talk to him?
Oh yes, Karpov. I photographed him many times. But I remember once I was in Monaco, and I wanted to photograph him, and I made an appointment, and I was there in the morning. I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning or something, and I didn't get round to meeting him until about 6 o'clock in the evening. And he said, I can only give you a short amount of time, to take photos. Well, I went around Monaco, and I did a lot of photography, and he was very friendly, yes, and yes, I got a front cover with Jimmy on that, and that worked out very well.
Do you sometimes take pictures of them not at the board but doing other things, or is it mainly just playing?
photograph whenever I can. I mean, it's usually at the board because that's when I see them. But I mean, if they're doing sort of other things, I would photograph them. Yes.
And you've travelled all over, pretty much all over the world doing this, haven't you?
Not all. I've travelled a few places, not all over the world, no, but taking photos, that is. I mean, I have travelled a lot, but I mean, mainly in Europe, I think, for taking photos, yes.
And you also play in the tournaments at the same time.
Yes,
so
but
what are your funnest tournaments to go to play in?
Well, tournament I liked very much was the Lost Boys tournament in Antwerp. That I thought was a fantastic tournament. But I recently went to Clichy, which was interesting. We play, many members of the King's Head Club, which is what I belong to, go to play in Leuven, which is a fun tournament in November. And I play in that most years. And I played in Ghent many times. I played in Capelle. I just enjoy playing chess.
Does tournament play involve lots of drinking? And eating?
Well, less now than it used to, put it like that. Many years ago, yes, I probably did, but I don't drink as much as I used to.
Is it now very difficult to sell photographs now that the internet's taken?
It's extremely difficult. Yes. In fact, it's it's not just the internet. I'm now thinking in England there's probably much less interest in chess. I mean, years ago I could ring up a newspaper and ask them if they were interested in photo, and sometimes they said yes, sometimes no. But there was some interest in chess as an activity in England. I don't think there is in the same degree today, because the newspapers respond to public interest. I don't think there's so much interest in the public in chess.
Why not?
Why not? I really don't know. Oh, you probably know that better than I do. It may be because we haven't got a Magnus Carlsen in England. I don't know. But I think that's reflected not just in taking photos, but it's reflected also in club membership. I mean, when I joined the chess club, our chess club in 1982, there were probably double the number of teams in the London League that there are today. In other words, the competitors in league chess is virtually halved in that time. And there aren't as many chess clubs in London. And I think that's true throughout the country as well. So, but the thing about chess is there will always be a minority interest in it. I don't think chess is going to die.
Have you had an exhibition of your photos?
No, I haven't.
Would you like to?
I've got mixed feelings about that. I might. I don't know. It depends. It seems. I don't think there's that much interest.
Well, you probably. I think it's amazing because you photographed all the top players and lots of amateur players, and you're probably the most prolific chess photographer in this country, if not anywhere. One of the top. There's not many chess photographers, are there?
Well, now you'll probably find there are masses of people taking photographs of chess events.
Right, but to specialise for so many years, for decades, and
that's
get all
true.
the top players.
That was. I think I was fortunate in that time, from about '86 to about 2010. For about 25 years, that I did have the good fortune to take a lot of photos which were used. In fact, most of the photos, a lot of the photos I took were published.
And they were in some of the biggest newspapers.
Well, in most of the newspapers, magazines, books. I'll just give you an idea that in terms of interest, when Karpov wrote his series, his excellent series of chess books, you'll probably notice in the English edition there are practically no photos. Now in the Russian edition there are. Now at an event, I spoke to Kasparov about this, and he wanted photos in, but the publishers didn't. So there were no photos. They didn't think it would help the sales, and it would cost them.
And now you could just put lots of photos on the internet, but would that just be giving it away?
I can do that, but what's the point?
So people could see them.
Well,
But is that unethical to give away photos like that?
Mind you, what has happened is that sometimes people will photocopy a front cover and use that. I mean, that has happened. There was one time I went down to Hastings and found that there was a photograph taken of a chess event which I'd photographed on the top of the pavilion, pier, which has since been burnt out. At Hastings, there was a chess event down below, and I was there with Jimmy, I think, or maybe he didn't climb on the roof. It was a bit dangerous, but I photographed down there, and that photograph appeared in Moscow. So, they probably just photocopied the front.
Do you spend any time claiming the rights?
No. Look, I once spoke to the editor of 64. What was his name?
Rochelle?
Sorry?
Rochelle?
Rochelle, yeah. So, to Rochelle, and he said, I use your photos. I steal from you, you steal from me. Is that okay? I said, no, it isn't. No.
Are the best chess photos in black and white?
Probably, yes. Probably because it was more difficult. You know, I had to. I developed and printed all my photos in my bathroom, and it was painstaking. But I think that process probably made you think more about what you were photographing.
Do you have any particularly memorable one or two best photos?
A few, yes, I suppose. And some of them were lucky shots. Sometimes when you photograph, things happen which you don't expect. I mean, I'll give you one example. I was in Hastings at the beginning of a tournament, and I just could not get any expression from Judith Polgar, whom I wanted to photograph. And anyway, when it came to the start of the round, there was nobody there to start the clocks. So up jumped Spielman and banged all the clocks. Well, apparently this made Judith Polgar laugh, and I got a photo of her.